Well, hey everybody, it's Paul. Welcome to my kitchen. You know, we picked some apples the other day, so I thought it's perfect time of the year to make an apple crisp. So for this, I like to use my peeler, corer, and slicer. So I thought I'd go down a list of some of the common ingredients. Most everything is like butter, you know, stuff like that, but you will want some brown sugar, some regular sugar, obviously, 6 to 8 apples, some oats, cinnamon, nutmeg, and I think that's pretty much all the stuff we're going to need. So we will try this, and if it doesn't work, we will do it the old-fashioned way. So that peels it, slices it, if you can see, into strips, and it cores it. So that's pretty cool. Okay, there we go. That's how you do it. Peeled, cored, and sliced. Ta-da! And you just pull the core right off and you're good to go. And reload it for the next one. I won't show you doing all these, obviously. You do one, they're all about the same. But if you haven't ever bought one of these, I'll leave a link for one. They're not expensive on the Amazon. Okay, now for the fun part, we'll start putting the ingredients together. Now I want to say, if you use the peeler, this is about how it comes off. So what I do is I just put my thumb and split those. Whatever size you want to use, that's up to you. With apple pies, I usually go a little bit larger. With a crisp, a little bit smaller. But there's no right or wrong answers on that. So we got our apples all prepared here. So we want to get a 1/4 cup, and I pack it in there pretty good, of the dark brown sugar. Light brown sugar works too. Now I've got a 1/4 cup of white sugar. Okay, now a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon and about a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. Now this is a part I've never done before. It's calling for 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. Now I love lemon, so I'm gonna give it a go. And finally, a tablespoon of butter. And that does it for the filling. So we're just gonna kind of combine this around a little, mix it up. If nobody's looking, you could use your hands. That's the most efficient way, but you know, we gotta pretend like we're all fancy like on here. So we are mixing it up proper. And now's a good time to start your oven. You want 375 on it. And then we will start the topping. This looks good. And you can try it. Nothing in here to hurt us. So. I can't stop. Yum. Okay. You can use any size dish you like. This is 8 by 11. And it seems to fit the bill nice. Okay, let's get this party started. Now this one, the topping, you can change it around. You can add more, add less. I'm going to start with about a cup of the flour. There's a cup of the oats. Let's see, where'd our cinnamon go? Right here. A teaspoon or so of cinnamon. And here is a stick of butter, melted. And like I say, we will adjust this if we have to. I have not used the oats like this before. When I make crisp, I usually just use the flour. But I do like oats, so this will be interesting to see how it comes about. And we will know shortly if it looks about right or what it's going to need. Because you don't want it to stick together like a ball, but you don't want it to be just powder either. And I'm thinking just a few more teaspoons, another quarter stick, because I like it to be more like this, see, instead of just like, this is almost too powdery in my opinion. Okay, a little bit more butter, and we don't want to forget our brown sugar. We need a half a cup here, so I'll go with 2/4. There's a quarter. There's a quarter. Now let's see how this shakes out. That is still way too dry in my opinion. I'm going to go with another half a stick. Okay, we will add this. Maybe not all of it to start. Now it's starting to form a little. Looking pretty good, better than it was. There. I think it was Julia Childs that said you can never have too much butter. I'm starting to think she was right. So for the top, I got a big hunk of brown sugar there. So for the top, it actually was about a stick and a half. Let's see what it tastes like. There's nothing raw in this, no raw eggs, no meat that we have to worry about, so we can get a taste. Just right. Just right. Okay. Let me grab that out of the oven. I had it just warming. Okay, I warmed this up for a few minutes while I was putting this together. So now we are just going to kind of cover this. And then we are just going to brown it a little bit. We don't want to go overboard in the baking it department because we don't want to totally dry it out. We don't want to burn it. And there's nothing in there that really needs to be cooked, so just softening the apples and softening the oats. That is looking nice. So I'm not going to put foil on it because I'm not going to keep it in there for long. Okay. I'll pop it in there and check in probably 15 minutes. Okay, so this is about 15 minutes in. You could go longer if you want to, but this is getting like set up just a little bit. You can almost hear it crunch a little. Hear that? So I think when it cools off, that's going to make a nice layer, but you know, you could go longer. I didn't want to burn it, number one, but most importantly, I didn't have the patience. I want to try a bite of this, get into the thing a little bit, and let's see what we got here. Oh, see how that stays together just like a piece of pie. See that? Now you could eat this in a bowl and get some more of that gravy. See the juice, I should say, not the gravy. And then I've been known to even use some of that heavy whipping cream and mix in it, or of course Cool Whip for a nice topping. But you can't go wrong anything with apple, cinnamon, a little bit of flour for a topping. I mean, it's got to be good. Butter, it's got all the best stuff in it. The apples are not mushy, but softened. The top is, you know, stuck together, but not burned, not hardened. See how that's supporting it? So that's what you're looking for. It's awesome. Well, if you do make it, let me know what you think. Till next time, we'll see yous. You can't beat that.